lots more questions, and I decided to be an Ewok today. I'm not really sure why, but I just woke up and was like, let's be an Ewok. Anyways, first question comes from Hector. He says, if you were stranded on an island, what would be your superpower other than flying, and why? I mean, well, that's pretty easy. If I had a superpower, well, if I was trapped on an island and had a superpower, my superpower would be teleportation. So I could teleport off the island if I was tired of being on the island, or so I could teleport my friends onto the island with me. And that'd be pretty badass. And then if there were people on the island already that I didn't like, I could teleport them elsewhere, like under the ocean. Yeah, I think that one's pretty easy to answer. But I think overall, what would my superpower be if I could have one would definitely be mind control. And then secondary, I would like to do like shape-shifting, or be able to, yeah, shape-shift, you know? Change into look like whatever I want. A lot of people say like what their superpower would be, but they don't actually think about the realism of that superpower. I know superpowers and realism, they don't go hand in hand. Comic books and realism don't go hand in hand. Just go with me on this. People say, I want to fly. Okay, cool, you can fly now. But did you think about having to breathe at high altitudes and extreme speeds? If you're going faster than a speeding bullet, your eyes would dry out almost instantly, and your skin would be windburned, if not even worse, because windburn is just like, oh god, that wind is really hard. But going faster than a speeding bullet, your skin would basically probably be ripped off. Not to mention your clothes, and that's funny. But can you breathe? Can you survive going that fast? I don't think so. You need to think about that one. Or invisibility. Okay, what about the details of invisibility? Are your clothes turning invisible too? What about things you're touching? Can I wear clothes and carry something in my hands and it's invisible as long as I'm touching it? Or does it need to be touching my skin to become invisible? Or does it just need to be touching my clothes? Like, these are things you gotta think about when coming up with your superpower. Mind control, I don't really see any bad in that, other than for the person you're mind controlling that might totally screw up their life. But who cares? It's not your life. Transfiguration. Oh wait, that's Harry Potter. But like basically shape-shifting. I mean, the fact that your body can change shape as your superpower is cool. That'd be awesome. One day I might want to be a cat. Maybe one day I want to turn into, I don't know, you. I'll look like you and I'll walk into your house and be like, hey, family, it's me, that guy, your kid, and just kind of fuck with them a bit. I don't know. But then you gotta think, well, your body can do that, but is it painful? If it is, it's probably extremely, incredibly painful. So, can I have also the power to withstand the pain while my body is changing shape? What happens if something goes wrong in the middle of the changing? Like, what happens then? These are things you gotta think about. Next up is Michelle, who asks, why don't I give a grade on game reviews? I don't really believe in grades on game reviews because the grade is subjective to who is reading it. Like a 7. A 7 really isn't that bad. A 7 is actually better than average. But nowadays you look at a 7 on a game review and you're like, oh, that game is shit. Actually, a 7's not that bad. Or even a letter grade. It's all really subjective. Like in high school, I would get a B-, and I'm like, hell yeah, I got a B-, I'm the shit. But other kids, I knew a girl in my class in high school who would cry if she got anything anything less than an A-. So to her, a B- is like the worst thing in the world. So it's really subjective. And plus, you can't really wrap up a game with just a grade. Games are so many different pieces of all sorts of things because it's character design, it's script, it's story, it's level design, it's graphics, it's sound design, it's play experience, it's controls, it's all these little, I keep saying puzzle pieces, but video games are a giant puzzle and it's all these puzzle pieces and how well they fit together. So just putting a grade, it's actually just downplaying all the work that goes into a game and just kind of downplaying the overall experience. So like if you want to know what I really think of a game, if you should play or not, you gotta watch the review because I will tell you exactly what I thought about each aspect of the game. I don't just say, it was fun because this character was really hot and I tore this spine out, it's bloody and gory and great. No, I will break it down. I'll tell you what I thought about the story, I'll tell you about the controls, the level design, the character creation and all that stuff. To really what gave me the overall experience. Because maybe my overall experience was really good, but maybe the graphics were like super shitty. Or maybe my experience was really good, but the story was super shitty. I would say my overall experience was an 8, but to you, maybe story is one of the #1 most important things you look for in a game, so to you, it's like a 5 because the story was so shitty. You've really got to like look into a review of a game to really dissect what you would get out of it. Just because I got a good experience out of it doesn't mean you will, and if I didn't get a good experience, doesn't mean you won't. It's just what makes a good game to you. Marie says she was thinking about getting Twilight Princess for her Wii and asks if I've played it, and if I have, what I thought. I have not played Twilight Princess. I did play like a demo or something at E3, and I really just wasn't a fan of the style, the art style. I didn't like this older Link thing. I really am more of a fan of old school Zelda games and stuff like this coming out on the DS. I don't really need a grown-up version of that game because I play Zelda, because not only is it an amazing game, great story and great characters, but also because it's very nostalgic to me. Grew up on Zelda games, so when I play them I kind of like that feeling back. I don't need Mario or Zelda, those games. I don't really need any Nintendo games to grow up with me. I play them because they're really good games, but because they also remind me of my childhood. So I don't want them to grow up. So I didn't really play Twilight Princess. Her second question is, what do you think is the definition of gamer? Ugh, that one's really hard. There's several different types of gamer, I believe. I think we're all a gamer to some degree. I don't agree that someone who just plays Angry Birds when they're pooping, and that's the only experience they have with games, is a gamer. So I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with my breakdown of what a gamer is, but this is just my opinion. I'd say there are 4 different types of gamers. There are casual gamers, hardcore gamers, and pro gamers. Casual gamers are the people who play games maybe just socially. When they go over to a friend's house, they might break out Guitar Hero or Dance Central. They might play a game or two when they go to an arcade bar, but at home they don't really play games at all on their own or spend any of their free time playing games. And if they do, it might be a game here or there on their iPad. That's what I call a casual gamer. A gamer is much more of a broad description. Gamers are people that do enjoy games. They do play games on their own time, but it might just be the AAA titles. They'll play basically what society is telling them to play. They'll play Call of Duty, they'll play Halo, they'll play Madden. They might be a little crazy and they'll play Gears, which I know Gears is to a lot of us mainstream, but to some gamers it is kind of, it's actually a little bit more hardcore for them than they would want. I know it sounds crazy, but I've talked to people like this. They're like, I play Call of Duty and I play Halo, and I'm like, did you play Gears? No, that's a little bit too hardcore for me. It's like, no. If you like Halo, Gears is awesome. Play Gears. But they do kind of play and stick to just the AAA titles. There are some gamers that don't stick to just AAA. They do play a lot of different types of games. But what separates the gamer from the hardcore gamer is gamers do enjoy games. They do love playing games, but their life isn't centered around it. Hardcore gamers, I don't think you define a hardcore gamer based on what kind of games they play. It's all about their life. Hardcore gamers live by video games. They live through video games. They live with video game news, video game updates. Like their calendar has video game release dates on it, and they will play. Some hardcore gamers might actually only play AAA titles, but the fact that their life is video games and they would say gaming does define them, that's a hardcore gamer. Gamers, I wouldn't say gaming defines them. They're like, yeah, I'm a gamer. They don't really see themselves gaming for the rest of their lives. They don't see themselves gaming in the next 5 years. They don't really have any interest in building a career around gaming, nor do they really seek out other gamers like at game conventions and gaming events, but hardcore gamers do. Hardcore gamers really do center everything around in their lives on games. And then you have the pro/competitive gamers, and those are the guys that they are probably gamers at home, but they have taken their love for gaming into a completely new level, which is gaming competitively, professionally. I don't think all pro gamers are actual hardcore gamers, and I don't think all hardcore gamers are pro gamers or want to be pro gamers. I consider myself definitely a hardcore gamer. My life is defined, and who I am as a person is defined by gaming, but I don't want to game competitively or as a professional gamer. I'm not really, I love multiplayer games, but I'm just not really that competitive. I'd much rather play with somebody. I'd rather play co-op games with somebody or puzzle games like Portal with people. I just like playing with people, not so much against. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm I'm just not that good. But pro gamers have really found a way to be able to tap into a game series or game series that they love and just kind of hone in and almost obsess about it. You know, it's not easy to be a pro gamer. You're just not good at Call of Duty. These guys train. They train in that game, and they train on how to read other players on the map and how they're playing to one-up them or take over the way that they're playing so that they can use it to their advantage. These guys really do train and learn each game and level and map and timing and sound cues. They really just kind of make that game or the series that they specialize in their complete focal point, and I think that's pretty badass. Tori says, what is your favorite Disney character? My favorite Disney character in a total, as a whole, I want to say Hitchhiking Ghosts, because they're on the Haunted Mansion and they're some of my favorites, but some won't consider those Disney characters because they're not technically in a Disney movie. So if we're going to go from classic Disney movies or even current Disney movies, favorite character is probably Elliot from Pete's Dragon. He is Pete's Dragon. And Elliot was awesome because he was always getting in trouble, and he was also very curious, always wanted to know things, and just causing all sorts of trouble, but a lot of times he didn't mean to. He just kind of caused it innocently, and then he'd be like, oh no, I just knocked over that whole fence, I'm sorry. But I loved Elliot. I wish I had one. I want a dragon, but a friendly dragon. Like Spyro before Skylanders. Or Spyro before, what was that game that came out when he was his new redesign? It was really bad and had like Elijah Wood in it, A New Beginning or something. Or I'll take a dragon like Figment. There's another Disney character, Figment from Epcot. Figment's all about imagination, and he's also a little troublemaker too. Starting to see a trend of me liking troublemakers. Okay, I am taking forever on each of these questions, so I apologize. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I want to live on your laptop, please. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, I totally love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.